Entertainment news today. You're such a dragon gay. Everything sucks and it's no good. That comes out of Hollywood. But there's one place you can go to get all your news and info, and maybe even have a laugh or two. You know it's true. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We're step for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark. All those bombs and flops, but need never stops. We will keep going through the night as we keep up the culture fight. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark.
Greetings and welcome to the program. It is June 10th. That's right. Welcome, everybody. We have with us Price of Reason. How are you doing?
How's it going?
It's going. How's the Price of Reason doing?
I'm doing okay. Good to be here.
Is the price going up? Is it going down?
It's always going up.
I mean, with the riots, I would think it would go up.
I suppose it would.
You want this reason, you got to pay extra, buddy. We also have coming in from Canada, Mr. CC Karaoke.
Glad to be here as always.
Isn't karaoke a Chinese word? Or Japanese? Which is it?
Japanese. Definitely.
Japanese.
Well, they have a lot of it in China. I have some
what I was
DJs in
trying to
China who
figure
use my
out.
stuff, yeah.
Because I know it's real popular. I couldn't remember which word, because it means like just basically sing song or something like that, basically, I think is what it translates to roughly. Somebody in the chat will
No, it's
correct me.
it's Japanese, but fun fact, they have English Town in China. And so the English Town always plays the English karaoke.
At the Copacabana. I think it's funny watching Chinese or Japanese people doing karaoke. We got Patrick Robinson in the house as well as many others. We also got 32 flavors of karaoke. 32 flavors of Nicholas. That's what we need to do. It's 32 flavors of karaoke.
Flavoring karaoke. That's a wild term. Hi, Tom.
That's where you just host like a karaoke contest,
Oh,
like
I
American
that.
Idol.
Oh, I had to make it a lot better because I revile that show. So
Well, of course.
I got
You
to
give
figure out
extra
that.
bonus points for like metal songs and shit.
Yeah, and like pizza too. You can win pizza. Like
Pizza.
Yeah.
I had Casey's pizza for lunch. Don't tell
Yeah,
Mikey.
I won't tell him. I ordered out last night from a local place. It was really good. We had pepperoni and bacon on one side and the other side plain cheese, and it was so good.
That almost feels like the universe should break.
Well, if you can really make it break if you order 5 toppings worth of bacon.
My
Yes,
God.
please.
That's like
I-
heart attack city.
I did that 12 years ago in Baltimore at like 3 a.m. I called it Domino's.
He woke
Asked
up
for
3
5.
days later in his underwear in the desert.
Yeah, and they had 5 toppings worth of bacon. It was awesome.
Oh my God. Well, Action Com's in the house. Vorpal Bunny's in the house. We got Micah J here. What is this? Bacon? That's bacon. That's bacon. We got D-Bud here slinging the links. I was gonna say the rinks. The links. 'Cause I'm still in Chinese mode, evidently. But yes, check out Nick's channel, check out Price's channel, check out CC's channel. He's working on it. And we got some super chats here we're about to get to. And tonight, though, we have a special movie on Toxic Tuesday, do we not? I think Nick stepped away for a
Yeah,
second.
Tom, we got a special one tonight.
Yeah, what movie is it, Nick of Reason?
It's Kingpin.
Nick of Reason.
We're watching Kingpin tonight.
I just must say that Woody Harrelson is...
We're going to see who's got the better or the worst comb over between Bill Murray and Woody Harrelson. It's the battle of comb overs. Man, it's like it's as much of a comb over movie as it is a bowling movie.
They don't make movies like that no more.
This movie's a very toxic one.
And I asked the group last night, have we ever done, I know I haven't, but have you guys ever done dirty work yet?
No, I guess we gotta get
How
really
have
dirty
you not? That is like the ultimate Toxic Tuesday movie.
Oh, that's all the more reason why we got.
Did you know also, because this is why I asked, because I just it just came out. Did you know they found the dirtier cut?
I saw your comment about that.
Yeah,
the dirtier cut. I was like, ooh, I have not.
Yeah, it's not much longer or anything like that, but it's like alternate takes and shit like that. You know, like
not that much longer.
No, but it's like it's different in a sense, like because like you know, like the prison scene where they're in jail scene where they're sitting in jail, and you know he turns to Artie Lang and he goes, "You know what prisons are famous for, right?" He goes, "No," and he whispers in his ear for like a second or two, and he's like, "I've never heard of that before." And the guys come over and they go, "All right, get up," you know that whole scene. In the uncut version, he just goes, "Anal rape." That's what they're known for, anal rape. He doesn't. He just blurts it out, you know. And then when he's like, ridiculous. It's the lack of respect that bothers me most and hurts, but also the anal rape. The anal rape hurts too, but so it's a lot of that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like instead of it being the PG-13 cut, it's like all the alternate takes of the. Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. But we got Patrick Robinson in the house who says Incredibles 3. I'll act like doesn't exist. 2 was horrible, yeah. And now they brought in Elementals. Director, I knew Incredibles should have been a one-off. Yeah, this is hard to disagree with. Did anybody here really like the second Incredible film?
You know, I'm not even sure that I've seen more than one Incredibles film. I think I saw the first one. I thought it was rather decent. Everybody loved it. I thought, okay, this is kind of okay. Never watched it again. Never watched the sequels.
All I remember about the second one, it was like they were doing kind of a Mr. Mom thing, and he kind of cucked the dad.
The second movie doesn't exist. The first one's a masterpiece. And it's the best movie on the Fantastic Four that we never got.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that what happened was I saw the first one, I thought it was all right, and then there was a trailer for the second one, and it looked like a Mr. Mom type of movie, and I just didn't feel like watching it. I wasn't as adamant as I am today when I see this stuff and I think it's some kind of woke thing or whatever. I don't think I was thinking in those terms then. I just looked at the trailer and it looked dumb, and I just didn't watch it.
No, I was wrong about the plot, Patrick Robinson, or just no, you're just rejecting it all. I can understand both. I may have the plot wrong. It has been however long since the movie came out.
No, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong.
I just for some reason remember like, yeah, he's dealing with the baby and shit like that, and the mom's at work and shit or something, and yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing exactly what you're saying in the trailer, which is why I probably didn't end up watching the movie.
I'm in the same boat. I saw the trailer, I passed on it, but I loved the first one.
You're in a boot?
I'm a boot.
A boot?
As I said, I think
sorry.
I think people like this movie more than I do. I think it's good, it's okay, but I don't sit around like loving it. It's okay, it's fine. I watched it, I thought it was good, the first one. That was enough for me.
It's like it sucks, so like yeah.
It doesn't suck by no means.
He said nobody liked the second one. Yeah, I don't know anybody who really did. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying the first one sucked or anything. I'm saying I enjoyed it, but I'm just saying that it wasn't as meaningful for me as it was for other people. I just thought it was pretty okay.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I thought it was probably one of the better Pixar films because the problem with all the Pixar films is And I know most people don't really realize it until they realize it, and then they're like, yeah, you're right. Every one of them is pretty much a ripoff of something, right? Like Bug's Life is Seven Samurai, or Magnificent Seven, whichever one. And they're both the same story, And then Cars is Doc Hollywood, like literally Doc. Like there's even scenes that are like ripped out of Doc Hollywood. Toy Story, you could kind of say, is almost like a buddy cop movie where like the other cop does. That one's a little bit more generic, so I'll give that one a little more credit in a sense that it's kind of a little bit more original. It's kind of taking the formula but putting it to toys. But yeah, you get moving along. All these, even The Incredibles is basically Fantastic Four, right? I mean, they're on Monsters Inc. is basically the monster movie with Howie Mandel. What was it called? Little Monsters. Kind of similar. So yeah, they're all like very, even Wall-E has a lot of elements that it lifted from other places, right down to stealing the look of Johnny Five, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have seen, I have a t-shirt where it has Johnny Five and Wall-E on it. So yeah. But yeah, Fantastic Four meets Swiss Family Robinson. I can see that. That's basically what it is. Yeah. But anyhow, let's keep moving along here. Goddess of Whim sends in $2 for clobbering time. Yeah, sadly, this is the week we lost him.
Yep.
A year ago. And Thursday night, we're going to be doing a special stream. I'll give you guys the details for that as soon as I have them. I can't remember if it's going to be on Mark's channel or
it
if
is. It's on
Yeah,
March.
I think it is. So, and that'll start, I think, at 6 Eastern. So it'll be close, if I'm not wrong. I'll correct myself if I'm not right. But yeah, we're gonna have a special for him on that night. So we probably won't stream over here. So keep that in mind. But so we'll probably join in there, even if it's just for a few minutes for some of us, just to kind of say our piece and talk about Clobby and how much we miss him. So yeah, thanks Goddess Swim for that. Then ActionCom says, okay, I fed up with waiting. When is Midnight's Edge going to sell Mexican Iron Man bathwater? Tell me now. Well, that's up to Mikey. Just don't drink the water. That's all I'm going to say. And not because of Mikey. You'll just get dysentery. That's why it's Mexican water. You'll get the heebie-jeebies. I'm all down with this whenever Mikey's ready. Jeremiah Hembry says with 5, Tom, on X, I sent you a Gorilla AI video and also something on Mortal Kombat 2. Let me take a look here. Let's see here. Mortal Kombat 2 made test audience cheer and jump out of their seats like Avengers Endgame. Its writer says the fights, the fatalities, the surprise, the deaths. I think we nailed it. Yeah, I'm confident this one's probably going to be better received than the first one. Now this ape video, I don't know if I should show this or not. Hopefully there's nothing too bad in it. But we'll show this and then we'll get into the topics at hand here. So let's see.
Okay,
here.
so we're in the middle of the icy riots here in LA. People are screaming. I think I just saw a cop throw hands with a furry, and Greg's trying to light a damn dart. Okay, so I think it's time I get the fuck out of here. Someone said the Marines are coming, and I don't know where Greg is, so let me know where I should go next. Okay.
They're having fun.
Jesus.
They're having fun setting stuff on fire. It's no big deal.
Yeah, they're just having fun watching cars burn. You know, they're just being peaceful.
It's the furries. Just blame the furries. That's what the ape
shit.
said.
I mean, it could be Max. I don't know.
That means he believes in Bigfoot. That's the
Yeah, Turning Red. I haven't seen that one, but I can believe this. Because Teen Wolf was basically taking the werewolf and putting it to a puberty kind of storyline, yeah. And then we got FKHC 2005 sending in some love for Clobbering Times. Thank you so much for that. Hopefully you heard that Thursday we are doing a celebration for Clobby, so do check into that. But we have some news to discuss. Superman tickets are on sale. I know some of us have picked up our early tickets. Go see it early.
Sir.
And now already, James Gunn is teasing Wonder Woman. Says new Wonder Woman movie is being written right now. Well, this is kind of news. And why is this news? Because before we were supposed to just get a series, a Themyscira series. So this is technically an announcement for a movie.
Yeah.
And kind of puts the nail, I think, in the coffin for Gal Gadot, I'd imagine.
Oh, God, yeah, it does.
So Wonder Woman under James Gunn and Peter Safran DC Studios hasn't hung up her lasso. We're working on a Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's being written right now, he told EW. DC didn't comment on who exactly is writing the new movie. Gunn hasn't yet cast the role of who will play Princess Diana of Themyscira. So yeah, that basically implies that it ain't going to be Gal. And that's a big deal. When Gunn and Safran took over the reins of DC back in 2022, they essentially begun unplugging from Zack Snyder created DC Universe. One of those projects not moved forward was Patty Jenkins' third Wonder Woman movie, which wasn't up to snuff. If you guys remember, we reported all on that business.
I remember.
In addition, Gunn said today that the new Wonder Woman movie is a separate thing to the already announced Paradise Lost. Okay, so see, it's a totally different thing. Paradise Lost HBO Max HBO series, which is slow moving, but it's moving, per the Superman Guardians of the Galaxy franchise filmmaker. So it ain't related to that at all. That's kind of confusing. Gunn also confirmed what was blurted out by Warner Discovery David Zaslav during last month's earning call, that Superman, Batman, Supergirl, and Wonder Woman were the linchpins of Gunn and Safran's DC. I think that's accurate, actually, Gunn told EW. I think that he got that from something I said. I wouldn't say only those four characters, but I would say that those four characters are incredibly important to us. Right now, I feel great about where two of those characters are, and then we're dealing with the other two. Paradise Lost HBO series was first announced by Gunn and Safran when first unveiled their vision of DC back in the day. Blippity blah, blah, blah. As of August 23, on a press tour for Netflix movie Heart of Stone, Gadot exclaimed, "I was invited to a meeting with James Gunn and Safran, and what they told me, and I'm quoting, 'You're in the best hands. We're going to develop Wonder Woman 3 with you. Love you as Wonder Woman. You've got nothing to worry about.'" So maybe this is Wonder Woman 3 after all. We don't know for sure yet, but I have a feeling it's not. After getting her treatment pulled, Jenkins told the press that when it came to the threequel, I never walked away. I was open to considering anything asked of me. Wonder Woman 3 was promptly announced in the wake of theatrical date tanking of Wonder Woman 84. So yeah, what's your guys' thoughts on this?
I don't think that.
Oh, go ahead, Bryce.
I don't think that she's staying as Wonder Woman. I personally like her as Wonder Woman. I know she gets hate sometimes. People say she's not the best actress, but I think that for that role, I liked her, and I don't think it's going to help. I think that they're going to recast for a few different reasons. One, it's part of the Snyderverse that they don't want anything to do with, and they've already kind of disconnected themselves with the past, so why would they keep her? And the other thing is that there's other political things happening in the world, and I suspect that some studios may want to not be involved. It's not nice to her because I don't think she's done anything wrong, but I do think that some studios may steer away from her, not for acting or box office reasons purely, or sort of for box office reasons, but in order to avoid any kind of controversy. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's possible.
So. But, so yeah, anything else to say about it?
I'm not surprised that they would be moving forward without her. There's one, it seems like outside of James Gunn's friends and family, no one is sacred. It will end up being a recast. And yeah, I do remember that conversation, hearing about that Gal's role was originally considered safe, but now that time has passed, they're gonna start clean. They're gonna start clean so they can make this a different Wonder Woman. Whether it'll be any good, I will still find out. We still need a Superman movie to be good and to be a Superman movie. So we'll see how that goes in a few weeks. It's crazy to think in 1 month and 1 day we're finally gonna get this movie.
This is true.
Yeah,
CC, do you have any thoughts? Go ahead.
I'm still taking this a little bit like the announcement of a new Star Wars movie. I mean, I understand that they have plans, but I want to see what actually happens with the Superman movie first. I don't think that movie's going to make $1 billion. I hope it's good. Maybe it'll be fine. I'm not convinced it'll be good yet. And I'm not entirely convinced that it's going to make a ton of money either. And
Does Superman need to make $1 billion? Do we know the budget?
no, it doesn't. But I mean, like,
I think that's what we got to factor by.
I'm kind of circling in my
Depends on
mind
who
here.
you
Like,
ask.
do you like who would take a bet that it's going to make 750 or 800 necessarily?
I can see 750 if it's good, of course. But
Yeah,
I think a lot of people, like, unless the budget amounts to $1 billion, I don't see any other reason why it needs to, unless the budget's near that mark.
Well, they really want this to be $1 billion movie, I'm sure, the Superman one, and I think that it's going to be something between 600 to 800.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat, and I'm just thinking because they have these Gunn obviously has big plans. He's got lots of movies that he's trying to bring forth, and here's another movie. And I'm just not sure that what we're going to end up getting is anything close to what they originally announced with that whole, slate of movies.
Yeah, I remember that. The Gods and Monsters.
Yeah.
Also, I think ActionCom said in the comments that Gal Gadot is already, she's like 40 or something. And if that's true, and
Yeah, she's
until
getting up there.
James Gunn writes this and produces it and films it and who knows what, that is, I think that's probably going to push her out of the age that they're
Not
going to
just
want to
that.
cast.
She's at that point where she's already had, I think, one kid. And if she's going to
She's
have
had
another,
four. She's had 4 kids.
4 altogether now? Okay,
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, if she's going to have any more, she probably will do it soon then. That was my point anyway. And that's not something you want to be saddled with.
No,
yeah,
but
I think at this point she's kind of aged out of the role. And they will want a younger... That's kind of seems where they're headed with a lot of this stuff is a little bit more younger outside of Batman. So
he's going to want us to turn a new leaf or whatever you want to call it. He's not going to... Is that a saying, turn a new leaf? Is that something
yeah,
people
the
say?
only thing I can see is if they might just, because he said it's separate from the Themyscira series, they might treat this like the Batman, where it's like the Wonder Woman 3 de facto, and do bring back Gal Gadot for one more, just to kind of fill in until they get the Themyscira series going, perhaps. But yeah, that's the only chance I see, is just like a maybe, and it's not even a 50-50 chance.
It's too confusing. If I'm them, listen, I liked her in the role, but if I'm them and looking at it from a purely business perspective, and I'm rebooting Superman, and Batman is now, I don't even know what they're doing with Batman, but it's not Ben Affleck, I think I would just already remove her.
Well, because wasn't she one of the only ones who showed up for the Peacemaker deal, if I remember right?
Wasn't it? I'm trying to think. I
Oh,
thought it was.
yeah, she was on that
It was
show.
her and Jason Momoa. And
No,
Ezra
it was
Miller, I think,
Ezra
showed
Miller
up.
and Jason Momoa. I think
But
that.
I think she did too.
Did she? I think that it was
I'm
Jason
not 100%,
Momoa
but I
and
thought it's
Ezra
not. People
Miller.
are saying in the chat no. So you're
I
probably
think
right.
that Cavill and what's his face, Cavill and Gadot didn't show up there.
No. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens here with
That
that.
probably sealed her fate. Actually, I feel like whoever helped James Gunn's wife had a chance of securing another role, except for Ezra Miller, because even with the help for his
He's
wife,
gone.
he couldn't be helped. But but what I'm saying is that had Cavill and Gal Gadot shown up for James Gunn's Peacemaker to support his wife, I feel like he would have been nicer to them. That probably sealed their fate.
Yeah, maybe I was getting it mixed up with Shazam, because they're saying she was in Flash. I knew she was in Flash, but like Shazam too. I forgot.
She
Yeah,
wasn't-
I heard
she-
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
FKHC 2005 sends in 2 and says it's going. At least he's confident that it's going to be Laverne Cox's Wonder Woman. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Laverne Cox is too old. Otherwise, it'd probably be a real contender.
Yeah. Patrick Robinson says also Hercules remake is still being made. Disney wants it to be faithful remake, but the Russos want it to be Hades movie. F that shit. Do not need Hades to be misunderstood villain. Is it still happening? I haven't heard shit about it. And the Russos are busy shooting 2 Avenger movies over the next couple of years here, so I don't know when they'll be getting to it. Unless it's already finished. Let's look. That I could understand if it was finished already.
Be happy if they're just finished with the live action remakes.
Oh, we got miles
here's
to
a
go
story that
before
says
that's even
it's
a thought.
well, here's a story that says it's facing creative tensions after and this is just from a day ago, so I don't know if it's still happening or not. That's what I was going to say. I don't if they haven't shot it yet, I think the chances are pretty slim. It was set up to be the remake after Lilo and Stitch. Hailing from the Russo brothers, who are currently in production. However, it seems the creative brain trust behind the new Hercules is in disagreement with how the film should be made, and the character should focus. Oh, so this is what you're talking about. Chances are they'll use that as a reason not to make this damn thing. Because hopefully they'll realize that Lilo and Stitch is an anomaly and not the rule now.
Yeah,
We'll
let's hope
see.
that they get that idea because I think like the one big con with the success of that movie is you look at very polarizing stories. Lilo and Stitch on its way to do 900, maybe a billion. Either way, smashing profitable success. Then you have the near opposite story of Snow Brown being a huge bomb. And that they're I think they're trying to figure out what direction do we go. Is this you would think they would think this is the exception, but I think they're trying to think how can we do more of this, even though Snow Brown was mere months before. Are they gonna look at it as only do newer stories and make them, or and then ignore older stories, which to me is a dumb idea too, because you're gonna run out of newer stories. What's gonna happen at that point? You're gonna do them again a third time? I don't know. All I know is they need to understand that we do not need every single thing to be a live version that's not a live version remake. Just make original stories and the occasional sequel.
I mean, if they want to do Hunchback of Notre Dame, I want to see how they screw that
Don't
one
give them ideas.
I'm actually curious how much Lilo and Stitch might low-key hurt them, though. People are going to see it, that's great, but how are they coming away from the movie? Because I've heard a lot of mixed opinions.
Well,
Most of the
when I
mix is
saw
in
it,
our-
is in our sphere. Oh, it absolutely is in our sphere. I was at when I saw it opening day. Audiences went nuts for that movie at the theater. I can assure you that, and the response to it is one of the biggest needing to be mad about something just to be mad.
Yeah. Well, speaking of having things to be mad about, Price brought this to my attention, and I thought it was kind of funny. It's not a big story, but it's kind of a big story in a sense. I guess Scarlett Johansson asked to have her Thunderbolts executive producer credit removed, but Marvel said no, and she's contracted to it, so I guess she didn't fight it like she did the other stuff. And then she also shit a little bit on her character, saying it was so enamorous, and sometimes you feel like a device to move the plot along. Well, sometimes that's what side characters are. You know, I
Yep.
mean, she does, talk about how, she got more screen time and things like Winter Soldier and all that kind of business. But yeah, and then she just kind of discussed how chances are she'll never come back again. It's just kind of how that boat has passed, basically. But yeah, I just thought this was kind of funny that she tried to have her credit removed because she had nothing to do with the film, was her reasoning.
Well,
Yeah.
the truth is that the reason she has a credit is because when they went back to do Black Widow, it was obvious that her character was already dead. So the only reason they really made that movie was to launch spin-offs. And her team very well knew this. So their whole deal was they, A, get the most money they can out of Disney Marvel, and 2, they also put in a clause which would make sense that she's an executive producer not only on this movie that she was in, but also in any kind of derivative production or spin-off that they're creating. Now, it's kind of standard to add that clause into contracts, but I'll say that in this case, it was especially relevant because her character was already dead. If they didn't have Yelena and they weren't trying to cook something up here, they may not have even given her the movie. They were obviously trying to build some kind of legacy characters here to spin off from this. So her agents did whatever they were supposed to do, and they demanded that she get both credit and money. Now, even though she said she asked to remove her credit, I'm still fairly certain that she didn't give back the money. The money, if the budget of Thunderbolts was $180 million production budget, she probably would get a percentage of that. Now, I'm not saying she's getting 1,000,000%, but even if she gets 1% of the initial budget for that, it's like $1.8 million for her doing nothing. And I'm sure she didn't return that money. Maybe she just said, I'm happy to take the money, but I don't want my name on that thing.
I agree with most of what you're saying, but I think there's a little bit different scenario here, just slightly.
Because she sued them and she doesn't like them and she's annoyed with them.
Is I'm not wholly convinced that her character was never coming back, because it wasn't until she sued them that it was most likely, because you got to remember, Black Widow was set, what, 2-3 years before she dies? So you could tell another 2-3 movies in that period. I'm not wholly convinced she probably wasn't supposed to be part of the Thunderbolts as well, depending on when that's supposed to take place. And I'm still not convinced you couldn't have brought her back from the dead anyway. Because as I've pointed out 1,000,000 times over, yes, we know you have to leave something behind when you take the stone, but nobody's ever brought it back before. What happens when Captain America brings it back? Does he get her back? Like, that's the question to be asked. And I think they were always planning on her coming back. It just, that whole thing came between it, and her being an executive producer was part of all that stuff ahead of time when she was still still planning on being a part of this franchise. But I agree, like, it's all contractual. She kept the money. She probably didn't make a shit ton.
No.
She got, like you said, like $1 million, $1.8 million or something like that probably off.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, I can say this in the reality world, you get something like maybe 1 to 4% of the production budget in a situation like this. And because it's live action and there's such big budgets, I don't believe that they'd go for the whole 4%. But 1% I could see her getting, because she is a big name and a big star, and I can see her getting $1.8 million, which is fine. I'd love to get $1.8 million to do absolutely nothing.
It's kind of like
happily take
the
it.
Amy Pascal deal when we talk about that, right, with Spider-Man.
Yes.
Oh, she's just contractually obligated to be a producer. Now, some of the earlier stuff she actually had say in, but as we're getting along here, she's having less and less say on things, and to the point where she's not even really part of the production anymore.
I mean, Jon Favreau for many years continued to get EP credits on the Avengers, and I don't know if behind the scenes he still contributed or not. Sometimes he appeared, sometimes maybe he said something, but for the most part, the reason they gave it to him is because when he introduced Iron Man back in the day, that was part of his contract, and he was also one of the first people to sit and discuss this kind of expanded universe with them, which was kind of new then, and he was in the mix. So that's why even in the later Avenger movies, you see him as an EP.
My understanding is after part 2, he had no creative input, because his whole reason for not coming back to direct part 3 was because of the shit that he dealt with for part 2. Because he was more than happy to come back to act, but it's kind of like reminds me of what's kind of going on with Star Wars. Notice how he just kind of killed his character off on Star Wars, and he's doing his own little, side piece adventure Mando thing, and I bet you that's the last fucking thing he does for Star Wars. You watch. Because it's kind of the same thing here. It's like, he shows up periodically to play Happy Hogan or whatever, and that's it.
Right, and in Star Wars, he gets an EP credit on a lot of those other things too, at least some of them. So
he will for a while, yeah.
He's smart. Listen, he continued to make, even if every one of those Avengers movies, they just paid him like $1 million or $2 million.
Oh, he probably made a ton off of those.
Yeah, I mean, I would accept that. Anytime that there's like a Marvel movie or something that you're tied to, he made at least some millions of dollars for doing nothing.
If he had some kind of secondary kickback for his EP credit on the first Avengers, I'm willing to bet, and this is just throwing it out there, because of how much money that movie made, he probably made more off of the residuals for Avengers than he did for directing Iron Man.
Yes.
I'm willing to bet.
And I'll tell you why, because it is good that you brought this up. Even in the more reality stuff that I've seen, even actual agreements, that there's something in addition to the production credit that also involves like back end, meaning if there's distribution, if there's other type of deals where it's shown later.
If they hit certain thresholds, there's payouts and
right.
Things,
So there's additional payouts. So actually, even Scarlett Johansson, if let's say Thunderbolts was like $1 billion movie, then she would have made additional money in addition to the $1.8 million, she still can make it if there's streaming and things like that, streaming deals. She may get something off of that. I don't know how much it'll be. Could get something off of that. But Thunderbolts isn't that great to be a part of in a situation like this, whereas Avengers is awesome. So if he had some kind of 1 point on the budget and then maybe some kind of back end deal, you're absolutely right. That movie probably made him a shit ton of money.
Anyhow, curious what you think about this, Nick and CC, since you've been kind of quiet.
Yeah, I'm not surprised Scarlett Johansson's act this way. She seems to be one of the few where she has not let time heal any wounds for her as far as her relationship with Disney's going after how things went down in 2021. And she ain't coming back for those sequels, those 5th and 6th Avengers movies, if you want to call them that. I'm not surprised. And now the whole device to move the plot along, I mean, well, yeah, that's not wrong, but sometimes that's just how the story goes. You don't have to like it. Not everyone's going to be a main part. Sometimes you're a side character, and that's fine. Side characters have their part in stories too. Not everyone needs to be up front and center. So it's not really wrong about anything, but it's clear that she's annoyed by things. Some good and some bad. But hey, whatever. All the best to her. And not the best to her, not the best to her employer.
I kind of lost a little bit of respect for her when she went from being sexy, to pretending like it was a big burden to be this character. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's kind of what she gets into here. Yeah,
feels a bit petty to me. I mean, I don't know what she's going for here. I mean, sure, it's a bad movie. Remove your name from a bad movie, and maybe that's good for your career. But I mean, I don't really associate her with the Thunderbolts, anyways. I don't think, oh, hey, Thunderbolts. She was so creatively involved with that movie. It's like if I was going to hire her, I wouldn't think of that movie as a reason not to hire her, even though it's a bad movie. So
right,
she's doing it to be petty because she's pissed off at them. Okay.
She's lucky that now
you.
she has a lot of money. She has like $150 million or something like that. So she can kind of relax and say a bunch of weird things. Honestly, if she didn't look hot, I think that she wouldn't have succeeded as much as Black Widow. And part of the initial movies as they were presenting.
Is it just me or did we lose?
Yeah, he just cut out. Price went black.
Did you have any more thoughts, CC, before we get him back?
Well, no, I mean, all right, as Price was saying, she's not bad looking, but then if she doesn't want to look good looking on screen, because I guess that doesn't shape up to modern values, it's like, sell what you have or don't sell what you have. And then what have you got? She's an okay actress, I suppose. There are other actresses I might hire first,
Yeah. Welcome back, Bryce.
I don't know. Was I talking when it cut me off?
Yeah, you went. Yeah. You were started talking, and then you got kind of cut off, and then he kind of finished.
Oh, I was just saying that she has a lot of money now. She has like $150 million net worth or something. So I guess at this point she can just complain about things. But if she hadn't been hot when introduced as Black Widow, if she didn't have the whole sexy thing going on, I don't know if she would have been as popular. And there's nothing wrong with women looking nice. I mean, Chris Evans went to the gym too. Women like Chris Evans. I think that on a personal level, he seems kind of weird and annoying, but women really like that guy. They like Thor when he goes to the gym. I mean, Chris Hemsworth. There's nothing wrong with dudes being there that the women like them. And the same thing, if there's a woman that the men like, there's nothing wrong with that either. I think that whatever she's doing now is just, it's dumb and annoying. But that's just my personal opinion.
She's going with where the wind blows. It's the socially acceptable thing to say how bad that stuff was, and when that wind changes, she'll go right back into it. Do not put it past her. This is all putting on the posture of looking like she cares with the people who were saying this was so wrong that we did this.
Well, and at the same time, I mean, I'm not saying she wasn't a movie star before the Avengers and stuff like that, but the Avengers made her a household name, right? Because of that, your kids know who she is. I mean, otherwise she'd have just been another dime a dozen actress. So, But Joe Pat sends in a $1.99 to say Peter Sean is seriously bizarro Chris Sanders. Peter Sean. I'm not sure who that is offhand. Oh, okay. I know exactly who you're talking about now. Peter Sohn is what he actually meant. And yeah, I can see where you're coming from now. The Incredibles 3 director, that is, Peter Sohn, is taking the reins from Brad Bird for The Incredibles 3. It says here, Pixar is shaking things up for Incredibles 3. Peter Sohn, who did Elemental and The Good Dinosaur. Oh, fuck. This movie's fucked. This movie's fucked from the start. Will direct the third installment of the critically commercially successful animated series. Brad Bird wrote the screenplays and directed the first 2 films in the franchise, which had earned a combined $1.8 billion at the box office. Bird is currently in the process of writing the screenplay for the threequel, which will be produced by Bird and Dana Murray. Okay, so he's at least writing it, but that doesn't really fill me with, interest either, or whatever you want to call it, because he did the second one. So yeah. So there you go. This is the guy who is doing the third Incredibles film. Now, we kind of talked a little bit about this already. So we'll kind of go through this kind of, yeah, exactly. You involved in The Good Dinosaur. It's like, fuck me, shut the door. Yeah. You guys even remember The Good Dinosaur?
I do remember it, yeah. I thought it was okay. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like Incredibles 2, though.
Yeah, but you do realize that The Good Dinosaur was like reanimated like 2 or 3 times, right? Like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually didn't hate Elemental. I just kind of forgot it the day after I watched it. There wasn't anything that really stuck with me too much. But I didn't find it like offensive necessarily either. It was just very, I don't know, plain, for lack of a better word. It was kind of cookie cutter by the book. So I mean, if Incredibles 3 is forgettable, is that a best case scenario? The Good Dinosaur is definitely not anything to tout. Jeez.
Yeah, no, that was
because I remember The Good Dinosaur didn't do great at the box office. Apparently, it did okay when it hit Blu-ray and DVD, and I think Elemental at best broke even because it had a decent overseas showing. Whereas if the US was like absolutely atrocious in the US, so I guess you could say that may have gotten saved, but still, that's not who
wasn't it?
It came out during peak woke, but it did awful in the States. Like it was like 150 something. But I think I never watched it, but I know like it did like a lot more overseas and it brought it to like nearly 500 K. So my guess is that was probably around the near break even mark if that. So either way, regardless of how you want to cut it, break even, slight bomb, whatever. This is not who you want to attach to one of your golden properties of these movies. Definitely not the right idea, but this is where Disney we're talking about here.
Yeah, I have very little confidence in this. CC, anything to say?
I mean, Disney has a long history of sequels. Snow White 2, Snow White 3. I actually liked The Lion King 2. That one was okay. But if we could just compare all this crap to that crap in the end of the day. 10 Cars sequels, Toy Story 5. Pixar died when John Lasseter left, as far as I'm concerned. There's a few bands I think of that way too. It's like, Blink 182, they broke up for many, many years, despite the fact they kept putting out albums. When your best creatives leaves, that's it. Up? Yeah, they were still putting out albums, but they didn't know they'd actually broken up years ago. Now they got back together recently. That was great. Glad the band is back together. I don't see John Lasseter coming back to Pixar though.
That sounds like something Spinal Tap would do. We broke up sometime in like 1986, but we didn't know. So we just kept touring.
Sounds about right.
I can hear it now.
Yeah.
All right, no, I am looking forward to seeing the next Spinal Tap movie. I have hopes for that one. Some hopes.
I mean, they did technically actually break up in the end of the first one, but still, like, that would be funny for them to be like, yeah, we did break up, but we didn't realize it.
Now I want that to be true.
Shit. All right. Yeah, that's kind of a dud. I don't think it's going to do nearly as well as the first two did. I think the second one clearly was coasting on the fumes of the first one, and
of course,
not so much even the fumes, but the power of the first one, I guess.
Well, that's why I had a good opening weekend. But then you look at its legs after that; it was doing a Tim Burr diving down, one Looney Tunes style. So, yeah, this will definitely not hit any benchmarks per se. This will definitely fall apart, and that's unfortunate because in 2004 through 05, 06, I watched this movie obsessively. Incredibles is one of my all-time favorites. I love this story. I love these characters. I was so excited about a sequel. This was and then all of a sudden 3 is just please don't. It's already dead. Just stop.
You know, I think you mean Dumb and Dumberer. Says Spinal Tap 2 will suck. Trust me, it'll be the Dumb and Dumber of 2025. Dumb and Dumberer was the one that people didn't like. I have a feeling this one will be okay for 2 reasons. One, Rob Reiner, despite being a complete meathead his entire life, has always managed to keep his politics out of his movies. 2, this team has not stopped working together since the first Spinal Tap. In fact, there is a handful of movies, if you haven't seen them, like Best in Show, A Mighty Wind, For Your Consideration, Waiting for Guffman. I think I'm probably missing 1 or 2. So these guys are really fine-tuned machine now with this. I guarantee you that team is going to get together for this film, and it's going to be amazing, right? So I have a good feeling about it. We'll see. It could be a total fucking train wreck. But I'm
with you on that. It's a good track record, and there's no reason for politics to actually be a negative here. Just write about the band, and if there's a little bit of sprinkling of something in there, I'll live with it. I don't care. You can make it funny, Just
I don't know, man. I think that with comedy, you have a certain moment in time, and comedy changes. I know that you're saying that they've worked all these years, and maybe that's better than them not working, but I don't know if they can deliver something.
Have you seen their other films?
I feel like I've seen some of those, but not all of the names that you said. But in any case, I understand. I mean, at least Michael McKean, I can say he's a really, really solid actor. I mean, he's not a bum. I really rate him. But at the same time,
Christopher Guest is the one I'm worried the most about because of who he's married to.
Who's he married to?
Jamie Lee Curtis, and has been for like 30 years.
Oh boy. Yeah, no, that's not good.
He's the only one I'm really concerned about. Because like I said, Meathead is always even the American president, he didn't really shove his politics into, surprisingly. I'm trying to even think of any movies of his where he's had any political overtones to it that he really shoved in his own. Didn't he direct A Few Good Men? And even that, I don't think, because that's just kind of basically the play as a movie.
He did actually a good job with that movie.
That's what I mean. Like, he's never let that get in the way of him telling his stories. You know what I mean? So, and I saw the thing with him as Marty DeBurgi that I posted the other day. Did you guys see that?
I did not.
I'll show you it real quick here. Let me see if I can bring it up. So he just kind of fell right back into character. So, I mean, I'm not too fucking worried. The person I'm most worried about is Christopher Guest. But like I said, those guys have done quite a few movies together over the past few years. And like Mighty Wind is okay. I know Best in Show is probably their best of the bunch. But that's about the dog show. All the dog. But they've done this mockumentary thing through most of the films, so yeah.
Hi, Marty DeBerge here, and you can help me out. 41 years ago, I directed a film called This Is Spinal Tap. And now it's been remixed, remastered, put back in the theaters for 3 days, July 5th, 6th, and 7th. So, if you want to purchase tickets and help me out, you can do that, and you'll accomplish 2 things. 1 is you'll see a great movie, obviously. And 2, you'll be helping me, Marty DeBerge, resurrect his career.
I like that. That was actually really good.
Remastered, remixed, revered.
I like the revere.
And they haven't shown us a lick of anything for part 2, just that teaser thing. So
That's all right.
I'll be
He's
interested to
sharp
see.
in that. So
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of fell right back into the role. So, like, okay, I'm here to share the sights, the sounds, the smells of rock and roll.
and I think that's the point. Is like just deliver it with that kind of sharpness, and which doesn't need any kind of politics. You really don't when you're just talking about a rock band. And there's tons of possibilities now that it's old and way over the. I mean, they were over the hill in the first movie. But now they're really fucking old.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, they're like super old. They're like Rolling Stones old. So I hope that's
there's a mountain of gold to mine there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of stuff there that I'm sure they'll be able to play with. So I'm not too concerned. But we'll see. We'll see. I know some people are very. I know I might be having a pipe dream, but maybe that pipe is full of weed, Polly. So yeah, so we'll see on that. There was one other little bit of news we had here, and then we'll probably get on out of here as we do. You guys remember when Pedro did the thing with the stick?
I'm gonna lick the stick. I'm gonna lick the stick. Then I'm gonna put it in my butt. Put it in my butt. Put it in my butt.
This isn't really related, but I just like showing that clip. So, but yeah, it kind of is in a weird roundabout way.
Oh, joy.
Park Place dropped this, I believe today. Yeah, it looks like it today. Pedro Pascal wears women's clothes taken from female co-star, according to Dakota Johnson in Fallon interview.
Wow, what a shock.
Mrs.
Not really.
Doubtfire.
Yeah, he's clearly trying to do a Mrs. Doubtfire thing. Man.
Pedro Pascal reportedly wears women's clothes taken from his co-stars, according to a recent interview. Pedro Pascal has built a career playing tough, silent types, from smuggling children to safety across post-apocalyptic America to bounty hunting in galaxy far, far away. But off-screen, his antics are starting to sound less like a Mandalorian and more like a fashion-obsessed roommate who never asked before borrowing. Marvin wrote this, of course. It's going to be a little quippy. On the 2nd of June episode of Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, amidst the normal backdrop of absolutely no laughing materialists star, Dakota Johnson casually exposed a rather curious quirk about her co-star Pedro Pascal. When Fallon pulled up a photo of the pair attending the 2024 Stevie Nicks concert in London, Johnson immediately pointed to a tire and dropped the bomb, "That's my sweater." He does that a lot, she exclaimed, clearly amused at the memory of Pedro Pascal in women's clothing. "He takes my clothes." Fallon, like much of the audience, seemed to think she was joking, but Johnson doubled down. Apparently, 50-year-old actor is frequently underdressed and raids Johnson's wardrobe when the temperature dips. Oh my
Is he gonna
God.
get
So
Me
he's like
Too'd
a
one day for
dumb
this?
chick. He is getting away with so much shit that he better be gay. That's all I know. Why is this news, Paulie? I don't know. She made it news. Fallon, like much of the audience. Okay, I got that part. He's always underdressed. Well, I mean, he's like wearing a t-shirt and it's cold outside, not like he forgot his pants. The crowd laughed, but it's hardly the first time Pascal's personal behavior has taken center stage, and not in a flattering light. Fans and critics alike are beginning to piece together a pattern of increasingly strange media moments surrounding Pascal. In recent months, he's gone viral for dancing around with a rainbow-colored pole photo site to sell inappropriate photos of her. I jumped ahead there, sorry. They licked suggestively at the Last of Us rap party and encouraged Johnson to launch a paid adult photo site to sell inappropriate photos of herself. Now, according to Johnson, Pedro Pascal seems to be building an unofficial wardrobe of borrowed women's clothes. I'm sure he was joking about the other thing, but still. Social media reactions to Johnson's comments have been mixed. While some fans brushed it off as harmless fun between friends, others are asking why a grown man who Disney has invested billions in potential box office revenue and continues to behaving like an internet meme in human form. Yeah. Yeah, he's got daddy vibes or whatever they say, you know. Daddy vibes. Yeah. Mrs. Doubtfire daddy vibes. You know, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure Robin Williams wasn't, like, gay. So, him dressing up like a woman wasn't a big deal to me. But I don't know. This is just weird. And why else are we talking about it? Just because it's funny. So what do you guys say to this?
Utilitarian fucknut.
In 10 or 15 years, are we going to hear the real story of all the really, really bad shit that he was actually doing behind the scenes? Or, like, what's the... I'm not really sure if this is actually innocent kind of, well, quote-unquote innocent, dumb shit, or whether he's doing worse things than we hear about. I don't know anymore. It's just all kind of blurring together for me. It's very, very strange.
You'll have the whole in 10 years when they do the behind the scenes special. We all wanted to say something, but we didn't know what to do. When reality is they're all in on it together.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think he really is a deviant of sorts. I just think he's closeted and has some issues.
I don't even care about all of that. I just think he's a sham. All of his stupid activism and bullshit. Everything about him, he's such a complete phony. And I have no respect for him and for any of his stupid, aggressive political agenda peddling. And I'm sick of seeing him in every movie too, because I think he's an okay character actor, but not like a top leading man. And I don't want to see him in every show and in every movie. That's regardless of the fact that I think he's annoying on a personal level. And, you know, this is just, you know, just kind of like the cherry on the icing. I don't care. I mean, if he was good in his movies and he didn't bother people all the time with his stupid crap, then if he wanted to wear women's dresses at his own, in the privacy of his own home, that wouldn't bother me. It's just the fact that he's kind of an idiot and that he does that, so he kind of looks more like an idiot to me. But that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, that was the last thing I kind of had, just kind of a fun poke at the gay bear. So there you go.
I don't know. If you're raiding women's wardrobes and stealing their clothes, it's just...
panty raid.
Yeah.
It's just a step away. Did we lose CC or...
What, did I go black?
No, I'm both. I'm about here.
No comments.
Wow.
Don't have anything left to say. Eh? With that, CC, plug some stuffs.
Plug some stuff, eh? No, I'm just working on my channel. Hanging out here. Same old, same old. Maybe play some video games.
Mm-hmm. Well, ActionCom says to save his self-respect, Pedro better be gay or addicted to internet corn. I notice women's clothes is a final step in that process. I'm not going to speak to that. I'm just saying, like, it's a little out there. It's a little out there. So yeah, check out CC Karaoke's channels, plural. He has a couple of them, I believe. Right? Wrong? Maybe so.
Yeah, no, I have 2 channels now. Technically, I also have a third one on Rumble. But I have 2 YouTube channels now. Split between ownership groups.
And then we've got Nick tonight, Kingpin.
Well, let's see here. I got Toxic Tuesday, Kingpin, and it's gonna be good. And you should come hang out and then do my show after. That'll be fun too. Thanks for having me, Tom. Oh, okay. It's been good. Also, my balls are huge.
Don't forget they're orange and fuzzy. And we also have Price. Go ahead and plug your stuff. Tonight you have the late show, right?
Yeah, tonight there's the Night Owl, and that's at 11:45 p.m. on my live stream
I'll
channel.
get the name right one of these days.
What'd you say?
I've been enjoying that, Price. I've been enjoying your show.
I said
I'm
I'll get
just
the
taking
name
it
right
you
one
actually
of these days. Yeah.
Yeah,
You watch
you and
it?
R2 have a really, really good vibe going. I just, I didn't expect to, but now even instead of Friday Night Tights or anything bigger, I just tune you in, man. I watch it while I'm eating food, and yeah, it's good stuff. Keep going.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know what to say, but thank you both. Tom, you said something, but I kind of didn't hear you well. I don't know if you said you like it too or something.
I said I'll get the name right one of these days.
Oh,
I always call it the late show.
Oh, the late show is fine. I just dropped the channel for my live stream channel here in the comments, and if people can subscribe to it, because we're really close to 1,000, we're like 950 something, and at 1,000, well, it's our live stream channel, and it would be nice if we got to 1,000. I don't want to weigh on people, but if they want to press that link and do a subscribe, that would be really, really cool.
Please do. And with that, let's get on out of here. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you. It won't be this Thursday. If we do see you, it'll be over on Mark's channel probably. So see you then, guys. Otherwise, I'll be on the morning show tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Cute kitty.
Available now for the first time ever on DVD from Midnight's Edge After Dark Productions. It's My Two Dads, the complete first season starring Mexican Iron Man Tom Connors and Culture Casino. Available now for $19.99 while supplies last.